into his chat. It's ridiculous. Okay, but we're going into the next game here. This is one of the matchups that I was worried about for Hunterace, because I think that the Zoolock is very good versus the Shutterwalk Shaman. But you said that it maybe doesn't struggle as much as I would expect. Why is that?
I think this is I think this is one of those select matchups that it does struggle quite a bit. We did see Hunterace earlier on in the tournament, I believe yesterday. He did pilot this, Shutterwalk Shaman very well. Didn't have a single Volcano or Lightning Storm, and actually ended up beating the Zoolock by just out-tempoing them. It was kind of a crazy circumstance where the cards kind of lined up, but he played it in a way that he kind of just made sure that he always had that board state. And that's something that Hunterace is really good at, kind of seeing how his hand is going to pan out. But this matchup is a bit rough. There's not too many great ways that the Shutterwalk Shaman can really take back that board or tempo. You really need cards like Volcano and Storm, and even if you get Storm, you need it to kind of, put in overtime, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for here, because if it doesn't roll what you need it to on some of those minions, you're kind of stuck in the water.
For me, I think one of the key things that has to happen for the Shutterwalk Shaman is, one, for the Zoo Warlock to not have Keleseth early. Because I think Keleseth early, it makes it nearly impossible with just any of the random minions in the deck just becoming sizable threats. And secondly, I think that, as I said, those AoEs are going to be very important, but apparently Hunterace can win without AoEs. So he's figured it out.
It's a very weird circumstance the other day. Just kind of, tempo out a Grumble. Went very aggressive, even ignored minions at points just to push face damage. And it was great play from his part. We see Thijs here just, having access to that Fungal Enchanter, can buff up this Light Warden. That Acolyte of Pain is going to get some kind of draw here going. There's no real strong way for Thijs to answer it, but that's typically not what you're trying to do in Zoolock. You're most likely just trying to, make a very strong board state and push the damage through with that.
Being on the coin as well for Thijs, the coin Fungalmancer to Fungalmancer, I think outside of Keleseth on the 2 is going to be one of the most powerful starts that the Zoolock can have. Outside of some random, 0 mana 3/3s with heal shenanigans. But, Hunterace curving out. I'm not sure who's the Zoo deck here.
Yeah, definitely fighting for board here, but Thijs, like you said, this coin Fungalmancer is looking pretty strong. Can take 2 value trades, buff this Light Warden up to a 5/4 if he chooses to do so. The question is, how does he want to dictate these value trades? Does he want to buff up the board to be kind of, maybe a little bit weaker to something like a Lightning Storm? Thijs is also going to be very conscious of Volcano, but you can't pass up on this Fungalmancer.
Yeah, I think you can't pass on this Fungalmancer. And the Keleseth, as I said before, it did find its way into Thijs' hand. Quite fortunate. A lot of games, from the Shutterwalk Shaman side, I just feel like I'm almost stabilizing on the board, and then all of a sudden late game Keleseth comes down, and then all of a sudden everything is out of Volcano range, out of Lightning Storm range, out of Hagatha range, and it just gets very messy very quickly.
So it looks like here what Thijs is really saying with this play is that he's prioritizing having the 5/5 over buffing the other minions, and the reason that is not only just because of the fact that you kind of are stronger against Storm, but you're also better against Mind Control tech. Thijs is going to be worried about Mind Control tech for the majority of the board states that he makes. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe makes another Fungalmancer play where he plays around Mind Control tech as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, so he does have the option here to buff up the Fungalmancer. Oh, and it looks like he is going to choose to do it as he suggested. It plays a little bit into Hex, but the thing is that if Hunterace actually has a Hex, that means that the 4/2 and the 2/2 Fungalmancer are going to be able to stick around and deal some more damage to the face, but more importantly, just maintain that board presence that Zoo likes to have, because with the board presence, they can leverage a lot of cards. They can also choose to not commit more to the board, meaning that they have very fast and efficient refills after a board clear does come. Hunterace goes fishing, and it looks like he finds a 0 mana healing rain. That's actually pretty reasonable, but he needs to find something valuable to do this turn. And it looks like he is going to save the Healing Rain for the Electra, which doubles the cast of whatever card that whatever spell that you play. Or is he having second thoughts here? Because realistically, he could die here. 13 on board. A single Doom Guard will just do it for Thijs.
Yeah, you'll be very careful at this point. But maybe Hunterace is thinking that he needs more value from this Healing Rain. Maybe he wants to get that full 24, but it's so hard not to just commit to it. And he's actually going to hold on to it here. Just that kind of restraint is insane to me.
It's so insane. And the thing is that even though you may rationalize that this is the winning play, that healing for 12 is not as good as healing for 24, but if he dies to the Doom Guard here, for the next series, you'll just be thinking, oh man, if I just healed up, maybe I could find a way to stabilize this game if I found a volcano or something like that. It takes a lot of control, yeah, as you said, a lot of restraint to hold back on the Healing Rain, but he does it, and he gets rewarded for it. There is no Doom Guard here for Thijs.
Yeah, I think Hunterace is really thinking that he needs, Lightning Storm, Volcano, something like that to couple with this Storm Surge. But if he doesn't, that's game over. I don't even think Volcano's enough.
I don't think so either. Well, he can go fishing once again, but it seems like he needs Runner. He does have the option here to go for Electra plus the Far Sight. If he gets something like maybe a double Lightning Storm, he could cast them both and then trade with the 3/3. It's a lot of things to consider here. Oh my gosh, he would have gotten the double Lightning Storm for 0.
Gets the double Lightning Storm for 0, although he's going to need to roll at least one high on these chain gangs, because if he doesn't...
He has it anyways. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of 3s there. Thijs does not look happy. Oh my goodness, Hunterace does it. Oh, how in the world was that even a thing? How did that happen, Dr. J? Can you please explain to me in English what happened right now?
I'm a little baffled myself. That was an insane turn, especially it came from the restraint of holding on to the Healing Rain just in case he needed to use it with the Electra Storm Surge. Although, that play was pretty crazy. Hunterace isn't quite, out of this, Hunterace isn't in the clear just yet. Thijs is still at a healthy life total. Hunterace is going to be overloaded for 4 on the following turn, and Thijs is going to keep packing on that pressure. So although that turn was pretty crazy, it's not over just yet.
It's not over just yet. And oh my goodness. The thing about Hearthstone for me is that a lot of times, even when you win a game, sometimes you can still be salty. Like, man, if I was Thijs, how are you going to deal with that? That was not okay. Oh my goodness.
That turn was, I think there are very few turns I'd want more than that. I think the only thing I can really compare that to is like a Wild Growth on 2. Like, that's the... That was, I'm still a little shocked by that play. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. So all of Hunterace's mana crystals are now freed up. He does have the option to go for the Hagatha if he wants, but I think Hagatha killing a 6/3 only is not going to be good enough. He's going to be looking for other options, but with a Light Warden on board, this is one of the eternal struggles of this matchup for the Shutterwalk Shaman. Playing that Life Drinker actually buffs up your opponent's Light Warden. Also Healing Rain, by the way, guys. At home, kids, don't do that. Don't Healing Rain with the Light Warden now. I've done that quite a few times.
I've had, I don't think I've ever done it, but I've had opponents do it, and I just kind of, shook my head a little bit, and it's really funny. But, Thijs is going to be very conscious. You see him here, he would love to play something like the Chain Gang and the Doubling Imp. I think he might commit to it now, saying there's no way he plays around MC Tech that much longer. But he was very conscious through this entire game of trying to play around that card.
Thijs really staggering his threats extremely well, too, in my opinion. Because the thing is that when you want to go for the... Oh my gosh, he has MCT, Grumble, MCT as well. Wow, so he is going to bounce whatever he steals. Wow.
He may not even want to bounce this anymore, because if he goes for Zola onto the MC Tech and then replays the MC Tech and takes...
With the Frost Shock as well? Off the Hagatha?
He also, the Dreadlord kills off that fungal enchanter, so he really wants to keep that on the board. And if he takes on one of the taunts, then that's also pretty powerful. Even having enough mana to commit that Frost Shock onto, say, the 3/4 or one of the 2/2s to clear it off. This is insane right now.
I cannot believe it. How did Hunterace? He made a full 720 out of this game. Wait, does that even make sense? I don't know if it makes sense or not, but man, he really turned this around multiple times. Too many times. I'm a bit dizzy from all this turn in Hunterace. Oh my goodness. It looks like another game where Thijs is going to have to string together some sort of miraculous comeback to steal this game back from Hunterace. Because Hunterace does have the board, but Thijs does have some pretty big guys on the field. Thijs has option to trade a little bit here as well to maybe fight for board a little bit harder instead of going face, and I think he has to. He's forced to do it.
It's definitely a tough call. Taking the value trade as well, I really like that, trying to utilize as much out of these cards as possible. You kind of have to hope, you say, you know what, those spells off Hagatha cannot be, you know, it can't get any better for Hunterace at this point, right? It has to stop somewhere.
I mean, you would think so. That's kind of the gambler's fallacy, the gambler's mentality where, you know, I lost so much, that means I gotta play some more because statistics say that I'm supposed to win soon. You know what I mean? And, you know, well, the Hagatha, I think Hagatha's in love with Hunterace. I don't think these
Orc
beats
Lightning was really strong because it means he doesn't have to necessarily commit the Earthshock. He could have committed the Earthshock first to guarantee the 2 damage onto the Doomguard. Really, it hits it anyways, so it's not, you know, that big of a deal. Maybe he wanted to save this Earthshock to try and make sure it goes on to, you know, something else.
Hunterace, he's still going. He's going to be able to get a random elemental from this Earth and Might. And Tar Creeper, I think.
If there was just salt on the wound right now, I think the 5/11 with taunt is just the icing on the cake. This is absolutely absurd.
Oh my goodness. Man.
This game was looking like it was over when Hunterace had to make a Hail Mary play to just play the Farsight just to find a Lightning Storm, just to go Electro Storm into a 0 mana Healing Rain. And yeah. I'm surprised Thijs is keeping his composure right now because this is insane.
Thijs is a man of steel here. I think that Marvel should make a movie after Thijs here. This guy's insane.
I mean, Thijs technically, you know, he's still in it. As crazy as that sounds, as you know, as like weird as that is, Thijs, you know, if Hunterace is just whiffing on some of these spells eventually and just doesn't have that follow up, he can get there. He still has that Prince Kaliseth buffed deck.
I mean, also, I guess if Hunterace also never finds the Shudderwalk, but you know, the card that the deck's named after. Maybe Thijs has a chance, but I think also the moment Shudderwalk comes down, it's gonna be over. Chain Gangs were played, Hagatha was played. I believe a Life Drinker was not played this game.
One Life Drinker was played. Yes, okay, one Life Drinker was played earlier. So you know he's got the whole combo assembled, and even if the Shudderwalk whiffs per se, he can still just kind of capitalize on having so many 6/3s onto his board, and
the beats they keep on coming.
it just doesn't stop for Thijs right now. I think Thijs is trying to use this game to say, all right, Hunterace, get all of your benefit out now, so that it doesn't happen to me later on. But you know, Hunterace, we can say that, you know, these spells have been very fortunate for him, but we have to really look back on that turn where he held off on something like that Healing Rain, just showing how much restraint he has for how he plays his cards.
And I think that's part of the frustration that Thijs has to feel as well. You know, on that turn, he's got to be thinking, if I just had a Doomguard, he was just dead. If I had a Doomguard, he was just dead. And Hunterace making a very strong showing for the nerfed decks. Shudderwalk Shaman not getting much love in this expansion, apart from the Electra. And the Quest Rogue, of course, nerfed. Well, how many times now? 4 or 5 times? nerfed straight into the ground, and it looks like Hunterace is going to be closing out this game soon. Thijs with one more Doomguard in the deck, I believe, but I think even 10 Doomguards are not going to be enough to finish out this game for Thijs.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Thijs right now. Thijs was already, in a bad spot when he lost to that Quest Rogue, and Hunterace is still going to have access to his even Warlock, which typically has very strong matchups against the more aggressive lineups. Thijs is going to be able to respond to the even Warlock with something like his own Odd Rogue, as it's a very decent matchup overall, and then also has Malagos Druid, which is a pretty close matchup, but he's really going to need to get this Zoolock through.
Yeah, Zoolock versus Evenlock, not exactly how I would be wanting to spend a Saturday of my own. Or Friday.
Tell me you wouldn't want to be spending a Friday sitting in front of an Aston Martin playing for it. I think you're joking with me right now, Debs.
Yeah, true. I mean, I've never had that opportunity myself, so I can only dream about it. Double Flame Imp helping Thijs finish himself off, but he is going to give it up. Hunterace moves up to 2-0 against Thijs.
Yeah, Hunterace, he played that game exceptionally well. I mean, that's one thing we just have to to give a nod to, is his restraint and his control, understanding situations, understanding what he can play to all of his outs. I think maybe one of those turns where he held onto the healing rain. It might have been more beneficial to play at that turn, especially recognizing that he may have needed the Electric Storm Surge